Hello, I'm wearing pants with a zipper. I feel accomplished today. Welcome to number 31. We already got some stuff kind of cooking. We're, as promised earlier, we're going to deliver chicken pot pie.
But where are we?
We're Wakanda Forever, the Quarantine Cafe.
Woo!
Was there some other line I was supposed to say?
No.
Okay.
Just gotta remind people, where are we cooking?
Yeah, I gotta get this thing started right now, just because our favorite little piece of kitchen equipment can often be temperamental, and we're working on your schedule here. All right. So this is, as you can kind of probably tell by some of the stuff we've done over the last few days, we are really whittling down what's in the fridge and pantry. We've not had a ton of fresh vegetables, certainly seafood. So this is kind of scraping what I'm still considering part of the pantry, just basic staples and things that came out of the fridge that we would have on hand normally. So I think tomorrow, this is probably the first time in 16, 17 days we'll be going out for a shop.
Very nice.
So feel pretty good about that. So we'll have some fresh ideas. So if you guys need any help actually planning for a shop, I feel like everybody can grocery shop on their own, but if you want just some tidbits on what to stock on hand and how to maximize your time away and minimize your trips out, slide into my DMs.
Woohoo!
So this is, I've got some melted butter here, and this is just onions and celery that we put in.
Yeah.
I actually used, just as a means of resourcefulness, this was some of our leftover melted butter last night from our biscuits. Waste not, want not.
That's right. Very cool. So why chicken pot pie?
Because it's delicious. Yeah, it's a good way. So we had a couple of, like a 2-pack of chicken breasts. Plus, I think we had one breast left over from our barbecue chicken last night that I just kind of peeled the skin off of and chopped. It's a great way to take a little and stretch it into a lot. And it's a great way to use leftovers. So as you can see, let's just say you're trying to feed a large family. We would have been fine with just a chicken breast, a piece for both of us, but to really stretch it, get some bang for our buck, that's a good approach to take, because we had, I think, 3 really small potatoes, like a third of a bag of baby carrots, and just really the stock that we made from yesterday. So it's a good way to stretch things out.
Very cool. John Barkell in the house.
Hey, John.
John, what are you guys eating?
Glad to hear that, we give some more love to Fifth Group. They are opening up some more restaurants for takeout. I think that was Echo Midtown, which would be very excited to have some more of their food again. And then by us, South City Vinings is going to be reopening for the contactless delivery.
We're going to be giving them a call.
That's right. Because we're, like I said earlier, we're gonna stay in and keep doing these things, which we are pretty excited about. Oh, you've stopped, haven't you?
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, you have. You're the worst co-star ever.
I'm the best.
Yes, you are. You are the best. You were in the lead by a long shot.
I was gonna say.
So
there's not much competition.
No, because it's just us, and I'd put you above me.
Oh, okay.
The real star of this. And so just while I'm waiting, you could put any herb in here you want. If you had fresh herbs, I probably, because I had bay leaves in my stock, I may not add too many more, and I don't want the herb flavor to be terribly pervasive, but I think just a little bit of a background note would be good. We don't have any fresh thyme, which I would love to use in a perfect world. We don't have any fresh rosemary. This was just poultry seasoning, which is marjoram, I believe. Don't even know ingredients. Yeah, marjoram, sage, rosemary.
Cool. So, very close to Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah. So if you hear me refer to it, something like Simon and Garfunkel, if you were of a certain age, that means parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Okay.
It's always good with cooking, especially chicken.
Yeah. And sometimes pick 1, pick 2, something like that. So what I'm looking to do is just kind of get these onions soft, and the celery as well. The celery is totally optional, and really, if you don't have any, the onions can be optional too. What we're doing is we're just kind of adding some base flavors. We put a lot of that into our stock yesterday, and then we're going to start building a roux.
A roux?
A roux. A roux. So a very light roux.
What is a definition of a roux? Just if people don't
is,
know.
Equal parts by weight, or volume rather, saying of fat and flour. Most of it, if you're thinking in the classical French sauces, butter would be your fat of choice. If you are kind of one of the main exceptions, if you're making gumbo or something that you want to really darken without burning, you would want oil. So this is kind of the backbone for a lot of thickened sauces that, to be honest, you really don't see much of anymore in restaurant. You really don't see a lot of good sauce work much anymore, which is something that I lament.
Krista and Dean are back.
Hey guys, thank you for...
And Brenda. And Jenna Murphy in the house.
Jenna?
If she hasn't gone mad yet. Professional teacher in the house.
That's right. Calling me out for my biscuit blasphemy.
Cream cheese.
What up?
Don't knock it till you try
That's
it.
all right, but foreshadowing.
That's right. So John Barkell is saying that he's eating a few to-go items from the Fifth Group restaurants and some of their local places like the Big Easy and a new place called the Companion. Mostly eating in, though. Don't worry, I'm not wasting away. Neither are we, John.
That's right. Good to hear. Yeah, we definitely need to. I need to support my buddy Andy at the Companion that's over on out in Bolton.
Yep. Krista is noticing your awesome shirt. Whiskey does help.
It does help. It'll be helping later. I'm stone cold sober for you guys right now. That may or may not change tonight.
That's right. I picked up that shirt actually at the University of Texas Co-op. So while I was in Austin, I was like, Jeffrey doesn't need a Texas shirt, but a whiskey help shirt definitely.
That's right. I like you because you're from. Despite the fact that you're from Texas.
Well, I'm not from. Well, no, I guess I am kind of.
You're of Texas?
I am of Texas.
You're from
That's
California?
Right. I had my rearing in Texas.
Sounds weird. Hello, I am of Texas.
I was like, I can't say born but raised.
That's right.
So apparently Miss Fiona Murphy is watching very closely to your work.
There's been multiple Murphy children who have watched me cook in a televised medium.
That's right. Uncle Jeffrey.
So speaking of which, I just got to give credit. This was our wonderful Dutch oven that you see us use all the time. Jenna and Yo gave that to me as a gift from about 10 years ago when I was lucky enough to have my first TV exposure, and it has been one of the best pieces of kitchen equipment I have ever used. So
it's
thank you both.
It's beautiful too.
Yeah,
love the red pot.
So we'll kind of shift gears on this. So what we're looking to do when you're making a roux. We want this to be very light. We're not cooking this to even a full blonde roux. We're looking to really just kind of cook some of that raw flour taste out of it. And so it's been there probably, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. So this is our chicken stock that we made yesterday. And one of the things I really want to do is I want to prevent lumps. And one of the ways to do that, if you can kind of see the steam rising off of it, the stock is hot. So anytime you're adding hot to hot, it's a good way to kind of mitigate lumps.
Oh, that's interesting because I would have just put in cold chicken stock or something like that. So heating it up really helps?
Yeah, definitely.
Pro tip. So Krista, what are you eating tonight? You're always making such great dishes, and I know you guys do a lot of meal planning. Oh, fifth group back in the old fifth group back in the house. Morgan is back for some more.
Nice to have you with us.
And Jenna, what are you guys eating? How do you feel to feed a family of 4 every single day? Six. A family. That's I have 4 kids. 6. That's a lot of cooking.
So what we're looking to do here is I'm looking to fully incorporate the roux into the stock. This is classically called a velouté. And anytime I'm trying to explain mother sauces or some of the backbones of classical French cuisine, it's really easy to tie it to a southern dish too. Somebody's like, explain like what's a bechamel? Like, well, in a way it could be like sawmill gravy. And somebody would say, okay, what about a velouté? Like chicken pot pie.
Very cool.
So just trying to get the lumps out of here, and at the same time, while it's still kind of loose, another little knowledge drop for the non-pros out there. Nothing is ever going to reach its full thickening power until it comes to a boil, because we're kind of activating the starch granules of the flour. So along that way, and I've got some extra stock standing by so I can kind of help control. If it starts to get too thick on me, I can always thin it out. It's doable, but it's a little more difficult to do if it is too thin, trying to thicken it up. I've got some potatoes.
Ooh.
And,
why are they in water like that?
Because I don't want them to oxidize.
Okay. Another pro tip.
Yeah. Oxidize meaning turn brown and gross.
We don't like that. Nobody likes that. Apparently Jenna says that Yale is the one that cooks because she's terrible at it. So.
Well, it sounds like she's got other priorities too. If you're
teaching,
teaching and keeping up with 4 children. So good job, Yale. Thanks for pulling your weight.
For pitching in.
That's right. So I'm gonna so since the potatoes are peeled and diced, if you're using red potatoes, you might not necessarily want to peel them. You could. And if you had russets, you could do those. These are Yukon Golds. And so they're kind of going to simmer in this like a chowder. And that's going to be my benchmark for when this is going to be done, is when my potatoes are tender. We had baby carrots in there just from the hummus eaters around here. So I just blanched these really quickly. You don't have to do that. You could also kind of let them cook. What I didn't want to do was put them in with the earlier aromatics. I have found that the longer they kind of cook and saute in a dry cooking method and then cook up, they'll kind of release their pigment and your pot pie sauce will be stained orange. Still tastes delicious, but just a preference thing.
Cool.
I'm going to season this as well.
We got Tana Davis in the house and
Tana.
Angie Tillman from Athens.
Hey guys, thanks for joining with us. Tana, long time no see.
Little Fickles pickles. Those would be good shelf stable, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would. Yes, they would. They would be delicious. Yeah, 'cause I was even thinking about some of that because we had when we did the patty melts the other night, we didn't even have any sliced pickles of any sort in there, so I was kind of hacking up cornichons to satisfy that.
We have a lot of friends, like our friend Charlie is doing a lot of pickling at home right now, which apparently is super easy.
Yeah.
Maybe you should do some pickling.
Definitely. So from here I'm just going to kind of let these cook before I add my chicken. Since my chicken is already cooked, I can just kind of let that almost be a finishing component and heat through. But as you can see, I've got a good level of creaminess going on right now already.
We got Anna from Atlanta Movie Tours in the house.
Oh, hey Anna, happy belated birthday.
That's right. She got a serious do. Meaning she decided to start over and shaved all of her hair off. And she looks amazing, like Charlize Theron in Fury Road.
Nice.
Fierce.
So this is just a little something extra that I do. You could leave it here. I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream to it just to help with the richness factor. And I'm going to give it a taste right now.
Always taste as you go.
Always taste.
That's what Jeffrey says. He's like, when you're a chef in the kitchen, you should always taste as you go.
You should always taste.
And food should not go out unless you've tasted it. Which means you try everything.
That's right. It's part of the reason I look the way I do. You get a good reputation, but you taste a lot of food. All right. That's pretty good. That's maybe just another little extra pinch of salt and pepper here.
Oh, Tara Murphy in the house.
Hey Tara, nice to have you with us.
Tara's been doing a lot of gardening with. She's got these awesome raised beds with vegetables and stuff, and her super cute doggy.
all dog pictures welcome.
That's right.
Flood my feed. So we'll just kind of put some of the finishing touches while we're waiting for this to come together. I couldn't believe we had these. This is like a miracle of fun. We had frozen peas, which really makes me mad that we did. What did we do a while ago? Was it the fried rice?
Yes, we used the LeSueur peas.
LeSueur, so buried in our freezer were frozen peas, which pretty darn close to the real thing. So those are going in.
Okay, Anna is saying, do you guys link to your recipes after you're all done filming? Yes, we do. Jeffrey posts them on his page, and we also put these videos on YouTube.
On YouTube, and I think what my next project that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, in the description part of the YouTube videos, start copying and pasting recipes onto that as well. So the whole thing will live on YouTube.
Right, so
forever.
apologize in advance to how they look on YouTube, but when you're holding a phone and you're in your house and you're not you're not actually a real producer, then this is what you get.
Yeah, that's right. We're just doing it because we like it.
That's right, we're having fun and eating good.
That's right. So chicken going in.
How much chicken?
It's gonna be about. How much did I say it was gonna?
So is it 2 breasts?
This is a total of 3. I'm gonna give us some leftover capabilities here.
Oh.
Kind of like take stock of everything else we had. I want to make sure this is also pretty thick too.
It's looking pretty thick.
Yeah, and this will help with that.
I love a good chowder.
That's it's not too far away from what it is.
It's like a baked chowder. Go.
So now we're just, I mean, really.
That looks like pot pie to me.
All this is from here now is just kind of waiting for the potatoes to simmer and soften up. And so once that has happened, we are tasted, we are good. I've got some parsley that I can chop. That's totally optional, but we had it in our fridge and we want to use it up. I can finish the sentence. And so really the last thing we have to talk about here, because I love giving you guys options, is crust. What styles do you guys like? Because we got a ton of choices out there. You could do pie crust. You could either make your own, or you could buy one from the store and just cut it into strips. You could punch it out into rounds and cover whatever surface you wanted to, depending on. You could even bake this in the oven. You could cover it with a crust like that. If you want to just kind of keep it an all stovetop pot pie, you could use puff pastry. That's something I've noticed in the freezer section that has not been touched lately, mainly because most people don't know what to do with it.
Jenna says, we got chicken in a can from Costco, joining reward. That would work, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, really, the key to, you could, technically you could poach your chicken in this. Every pot pie recipe I've ever really seen or done, it at some point when it hits the sauce, it's already cooked. And the chicken in the can, I don't think I've used that, but if it's what I think it is already cooked. So yeah, that'd be good. The rotisserie chickens that you would see in the deli counter at any supermarket would be a good option. If you had leftover fried chicken, which I don't know why you would, because I would think that would go pretty quickly, but if you happen to and you wanted to pick some of that off and extend it, this would be a good way to do it. And so the other option that we're going to do for our crust is we're going to do leftover biscuits from last night. We could either plop one of these on top, or we can just crumble them up and serve from there. So instead of just kind of waiting monotonously for our sauce to simmer, I'm going to sign off and probably go honor the lesson that's on my shirt that it's trying to tell me. So thank you guys for joining us. I know this is a little bit brief, but we are cooking dinner for ourselves around here. So please, any requests that you guys want to see, if you guys want to do a cook along, if you want the recipes in advance for some stuff, let me know. We can make that happen.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, so we'll figure something out.
Be like Julia Child.
That's right. Maybe with more profanity. But that's about it for us. Like I said, we're going to do a shop tomorrow, so anything you guys want to see, get it to me in the next less than 24 hours. I'll do my best to make it happen. But until then, stay safe, stay indoors, wash your hands. See you guys.